The Scattered People of the Good Shepherd, an Anglican ministry of the Anglican Diocese of Bunbury. Since the early days of European settlement in Australia, the focus of Christian life has been the local church building. For 2 centuries, this way of being Christian flourished, reflecting a rhythm of life where most people lived, worked, worshipped and played in the same locality. In recent decades, new patterns of life have emerged. The population of rural Australia is increasingly scattered, yet remains well connected through good roads and effective electronic communication. The focus of Christian life can no longer be a building where a very few gather. It must be the shared relationships which bring encouragement, prayer, conversation and teaching. And so within the Diocese of Bunbury, we have developed this new ministry which draws together the scattered people of the Good Shepherd. The heart of the ministry is the individual Christian. It cannot be an institution, but rather it must be an individual life. An individual, as a Christian, lives according to certain rules. In terms of their faith, this can be described as a rule of life. And it's a two-way dialogue. This rule of life comprises regular prayer and study. But there are also things that are done in community. There's the local community where people maintain contact with 1 or 2 others. There are things that can be done locally. There's being part of a diocesan community and the important regular communion, a Eucharist which occurs at least monthly. The individual within the scattered people of the Good Shepherd is supported in 2 ways. First and most importantly, there's a 2-way relationship which is online. Some of these materials, such as a web page, comprise information which goes to the individual. Other things like Facebook are a 2-way conversation. In addition, newsletters, sermons, either written or as a podcast, studies and the bishops to the people help the individual to be connected and encouraged in their journey of faith. In addition to that, there is the email or blog, which draws people together in a more personal way. Of course, there is always the occasions when people meet together. On a diocesan basis, this will include an annual gathering, and the Friday at Synod will be set aside for conversations between the scattered people of the Good Shepherd. This is particularly the focus for after the formal business on the Friday, over a meal and into the night. In addition, there will be regional events and informal gatherings. Holding all of these things together and holding the ministry together is the chapter. The chapter comprises the individuals who are helping to support the individual in their ministry. The chapter produces a prayer diary and a regular newsletter. There's the web page, of course, and the Facebook page. The chapter organises the publishing of sermons and studies. And the chapter also plans events, whether it's the detailed planning for the annual gathering or the synod on Friday, but it also encourages people to meet on a regional basis. In all of this, the ministry of the scattered people of the Good Shepherd is to assist the individual in their own life of faith. It's a dialogue, not a monologue. It's an engagement in relationship, and not simply a set of instructions or a book to read. It gathers people together whether they are in the most isolated part of the diocese or whether they are in one of the most populous parts. whether they have retired from a farm or live some distance from any other person, all can be members of the ministry of the scattered people of the Good Shepherd.